Hi, I'm with Badger Basket, here to go through the assembly instructions for the up and down benchtop toy box with the two baskets. Before we get started, make sure you look at all the pieces included. If you're missing anything or have any damaged parts, please contact Badger Basket as shown at the end of the instructional video. The colors may vary, but the assembly will be the same. And for this assembly, I will be using a drill to make it go a little faster. Feel free to use a drill as well, but please try to have the torque setting set on low so you don't strip any of the pieces. Otherwise, feel free to use a hand Phillips screwdriver. So let's get started. For step 1, you need part B, the bottom, part E, the right side, part J, the lower divider. You need 2 of the O medium screws and 2 of the K long screws. So for this step, what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be putting the right side onto the bottom. When looking at the bottom, you're going to see one side that has the groove. You want this facing upward. So when you put in screws, you're going to be putting in screws through the other side, going upward and into all the pieces. Now the right side, you're going to see one side that has this groove. When connecting this to the bottom, you want to make sure that you get these grooves to line up together. So you know that this is on the correct side when you have the grooves that align. So we're going to put screws going in through the right side here into this bottom board using these 2 holes on the lower edge here. And then we're going to be putting in this divider here that's going to be going straight down the middle. And we're going to be putting the 2 screws going through the underside of the bottom. Now we're going to be using K, the longer screws for the side, and then we're going to be using those medium screws for the middle divider here. So let's get all 4 screwed into place. For step 2, you need part G, the middle, and part N, the bottom back. Also, you need 2 of the part L, wooden dowels, and 2 of the part O, medium screws. So for this step, what we're going to be doing first is putting on the middle. When looking at the middle piece, you're going to see that this one also has a groove. When putting this on what we've already assembled, you want the grooves to be facing towards each other. So in this case, we're going to have the groove facing downward and towards the back so that this groove aligns with this groove here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the wooden dowels on the 2 holes on the end over here, which will be going into this right side. So there's going to be 1 on each side, and they're going to slide right into these holes here. So we're going to get that into place. Then we're going to be taking the 2 screws, we're going to screw it down in the middle, so from the top going downward into that middle divider. So let's get these both screwed into place. And then next for this step, what you're going to want to do is tip this down on its side. So we have the side with the grooves facing upward. Makes it a little bit easier to slide in this back. I'm going to have the sticker facing this way so we don't see the sticker piece. We're going to take the back, we're going to place it into the grooves on each of these boards, and we're going to slide it all the way across. And you're going to want it all the way in to this right side, so make sure it's pressed in tightly all the way. If for some reason this groove does not align as much as you want it to, you may have to loosen up these screws that you put into place, adjust the boards a little bit, and then retighten them so that this back board can go all the way into the groove on the right side. For step 3, you need part C, the front, D, the top back, H, the front brace. You need 4 of the K long screws and 1 of the L wooden dowels. So first for this step, what we're going to be doing is putting on the front and the back. When looking at the front, you're going to see the decorative side that has that edging, where you're going to want to face that forward to where these open shelves are. This little ledge that sticks out a little bit further is where you're going to want to place this on, so it's resting on that edge. And then you're going to have these holes on the 2 edge here, 2 screw holes. You're going to be placing this tightly up against, and you're going to screw 2 of the K screws through there to hold this front into place. Then what we're going to do next is we're going to repeat the same thing on the back. So you're going to have this box feature facing forward towards the front. You're going to rest it on the edge of the back here, align it with the 2 screw holes on the side, line it up, and then screw from the side to hold the back into place. So I'm going to get the front and the back screwed in first. And lastly, for this step, what we're going to be doing is putting on that front brace. When looking at the front brace, you're going to see a side that has two small holes. You're going to want to have this facing towards the back. So the side that has nothing is facing forward. On the end that's going to align with the right side, we're going to be putting in that wooden peg into that hole, where you're then going to insert it all the way on the end to go into the hole on the right side. Then what you're going to do is you're going to lift up and you're going to go under this ledge so that it's rested onto this front brace. For step 4, you need part F, the left side. You need part Q, the plastic bracket. You need 3 of part L, the wooden dowels. You need 6 of the K, long screws. You need 10 of the part P of the short screws and 2 of the I, small hinges. So what we did is we took the toy box and we turned it up on its side with the right side facing down. Now we're looking at the underside where you can see this front brace, and you're going to see those 2 screw holes that you had facing towards the back initially. So under the underside you're going to see 2 more, so you should see a total of 4 right here in this little corner. This is where we're going to be putting in a plastic bracket, and we're going to have it meeting that angle and screwing in the small screws into the 4 holes that go into the bottom and into that front brace. This is going to secure that front brace in its place to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. So we're going to put that plastic piece here, and we're going to screw in all of the small screws. Now for the next part, I'm going to leave it sitting up on its side like we had it. We're going to first start out by putting in the 3 wooden dowels. You're going to be putting 1 into this front support brace. You're going to be putting 2 of them in this middle shelf here so that you have all 3 dowels in place. Then what we're going to be doing is putting on the left side. Now when looking at the left side, you're going to see that groove in one of the sides, which is where this back panel needs to fit into. So we're going to lay this across on top, making sure that those dowels get into their respective holes. And then also make sure it's snugged in where that back panel is into that left side. Once you have this down, then you're going to see the 6 screw holes on top, where we're going to be putting in these long screws going down into all their places. So let's get all 6 screwed in. And lastly, for this step, what we're going to be doing is putting in the hinges. The hinges are going to go onto this back panel that we already have put into place, where you'll see these indents. Now when looking at the hinge, you're going to see one piece or one side that has the L shape to it already. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sit that down in that groove so that it's L-shaped towards the inside of the toy box. The other piece will be up on top. So what we're going to do is we're going to screw in 3 of the small screws here. We're going to repeat the same thing with the other hinge on this side. So let's get all 6 of these screws put into place. For step 5, you need part A, the top, 10 of part P, which are the short screws. You need 1 of part M, which is the safety hinge lid support, 2 of part S, which are the basket bodies, and 2 of part R, which are the basket bottoms. So first for this step, what we're going to be doing is putting the lid and attaching it to the toy box body. Now when looking at the lid, you're going to see the side that has the 3 small holes here and the 3 small holes here. Those are going to align to the holes on these hinges that we already have put into place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up the body and I'm going to rest this lid underneath. And I'm going to align those holes in the hinges on both sides, and we're going to put all 6 of those short screws in. step, what we're going to be doing is placing the safety hinge. Now when looking at the safety hinge, you're going to want to have the box facing downward and this arm facing upwards towards the lid or up towards the top. So first what I'm going to do is put in this very bottom one. I'm going to align it to the two holes on the back here. So they're going to curve, and I'm going to align it with those holes, and I'm going to screw it into place. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the lid a little bit. I'm going to align the top two on this arm here to these two holes here, and we'll get all four screwed into place. And lastly, what we're going to be doing is assembling the baskets. You're going to take the basket body, you're going to unfold it, and then you're going to put the basket base inside along the bottom. And you're going to firmly push it down into place so that the basket holds its shape. We'll repeat the same thing with the other one. And then the basket, you can choose which color you want facing out. And you can slide them into place. And that concludes the assembly of the up and down bench top toy box with the two baskets. Remember, if you have any questions or concerns, to please contact Badger Basket as shown on the next slide. Badger Basket thanks you for watching and enjoy.